Hello everyone, welcome to Mission Millennial Z Alpha Generations, where we share the other side of the creation story with today's youth. Now, in today's video, we're going to be refuting, critiquing the atheist claim that theism is not based on evidence. No, theism is based on a blind faith. And atheism is based on evidence, empirical evidence. Now, you hear this idea floated about everywhere, from top atheists all the way down to club atheists on the internet. It's a common misrepresentation, straw man, if you will. And this straw man argument is embodied, it's explicitly given by Neil deGrasse Tyson in the interview we're about ready to critique. Again, I like Neil's stuff. I watch his videos. Him and Michio Kaku are my favorite scientists to watch. They make learning very interesting. But I critique, I dismiss, I dislike his atheism because his arguments I consider are poor. And so let's get right into the video and see what you think.
The more I look at the universe, just the less convinced I am that there is something benevolent going on. If your concept of a creator is someone who's all-powerful and all good, that's not an uncommon pairing of powers that you might ascribe to a creator. And I look at disasters that afflict Earth and life on Earth: volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, disease, pestilence, congenital birth defects. You look at this list of ways that life is made miserable on Earth by natural causes. And I just ask, how do you deal with that? So philosophers rose up and said, if there is a God, God is either not all-powerful or not all good. Given what everyone describes to be the properties that would be expressed by an all-powerful being in the gods that they worship, I look for that in the universe and I don't find it. So I remain unconvinced. But
Okay, so here Neil brings up the question of evil, which is a formidable argument. Question of evil and suffering. How can a good God permit this? Which, by the way, I don't want to delve into this too much, but for me, my default position is deism, not atheism. So it's not we're not at the horns of a false dilemma that if the Christian God is not the right God, quote unquote, then you must have an atheistic outlook on origins. It's not true. There's many deists, and that would be my default position. But the evidence is strong for supernaturalism, a Christian theism for supernaturalism, so that's why I promote that particular idea. Now, as far as the question of evil, I get into this in other things. I'm getting ready to post a video soon about the question of evil. And I don't want to get too far into the weeds on that because that's a very long topic. But let's just say this. I'll make this one point in our favor. On atheism, on Darwinian, dog-eat-dog world of naturalistic causes, you by tooth and nail you progress. That's how you keep your species alive, by killing the other species and so forth. All this stuff that is commonplace with atheistic Darwinism. Where's this, where is this question of evil, this perception of evil come from? Richard Dawkins, for example, said, at bottom, there is no good, no evil, just pitiless indifference. We are machines made to propagate human DNA, and that is our sole purpose for living. So moments of candor, atheists will admit there is no such thing as good and evil, because to be consistent on atheism, Darwinian atheism in particular, the dog-eat-dog world of Darwinian evolution, survival of the fittest, on that theory, there is no such thing as good and evil. And I'm going to compile a bunch of quotes together from various atheists in moments of candor will admit this. But putting that aside, let's get back to the interview and get to the real point of the question of, is theism just a blind faith without evidence? Let's say this.
Some good evidence, great. There's just no evidence of it. And this is why religions are called faiths, because you believe something in the absence of evidence. That's what...
Wrong. This is an amateur mistake he made here. And that's putting a benevolent construction on it. I think it's inexcusable, personally, to, use a straw man argument like that. He must know that theists use arguments based on evidence. He must know that. Like the fine-tuning argument for the existence of a creator. He must know there's evidence in which we based our theory. He might not agree with it. All right, fair enough. Fair play if you don't agree with it. But don't misrepresent it, please. I see this so often, and I'm appealing to my atheist friends out there. Don't go this route. Just weigh the evidence, right? Is it a blind faith that we have? No. We are basing it on solid arguments. Now, atheism is just as much a blind faith as Christianity is. Because why? It's not a fact that we can observe the creation of the universe. We can't observe that. That's an historical event. So that's why you have theories about these different things. In fact, there's a lot of competing theories within the atheistic community of origins. And why would there be competing theories? There's no competing theories about whether Jupiter exists. That's a fact. That's an empirically observed fact. We can look in through a telescope, we can see Jupiter there. No one argues the existence of Jupiter. They might argue how did Jupiter actually evolve in the concourse of stellar evolution and all that, but they don't actually question the existence, because that is an observable fact. Now, in my debate, Theistic Debate Challenge, I called it, a video which I posted 2 weeks ago, and it's in the description if you want to watch my first 20-minute speech. In my Theistic Debate Challenge, I put out my first 20-minute speech, and in this, I define the difference between historical sciences, which involves theories, because we didn't observe them, and actual evidence that we have. So let's take a look at that. The Theistic Debate Challenge, I call this. Presence, and this is the proposition. And if you know someone who's willing to take me up on this proposition, let me know. Give me a ring. Present scientific data points toward a supernatural creator being the best explanation for the origin of the universe and intelligent life. And here's the key point that I defined as it relates to Tyson's comment. Now, I chose the wording point towards to preempt another stratagem used by my atheist friends who employ an empirical definition of science to exclude theism. But the beginning of the universe was a one-time, unobserved historical event. Naturalism and supernaturalism are equally unscientific because neither side can replicate something coming from nothing in a lab experiment. Therefore, and here's the point, and this is the point, if I had an opportunity to talk to Tyson, I would bring up this very point up. Therefore, both sides must use the scientific reasoning called inference to the best explanation to determine which theory best explains the observed facts of science. So in closing, both sides, atheism and theism, are arguing from the same scientific facts, the data that we do have, like the beginning of the universe, the fine-tuning of the universe. These are facts that we can observe, we can evaluate. We can see them in some sense or another. We both have the same facts. We come to different conclusions. So I hope you can accept that idea, even if you don't agree with theism, and give theism a fair shake, so to speak, instead of misrepresenting it, if you do. Some atheists don't. Many atheists, are very fair about this. But unfortunately, by and large, the new atheists aren't. I see Richard Dawkins, I see all the other top atheists use the same type of argument that Tyson used. It's a straw man. And it's an aggravating straw man to boot. Although I like him as a person, I don't like him in this realm where he misrepresents and doesn't give us a fair shake with the public. So anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and share this channel with someone you think might be benefited, because our aim is simply to give both sides, atheists and theists, the best arguments the other side has to offer. What's wrong with that? That's the scientific method. All right. Well, you all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.